There was an interesting video from Gothic Therapy that dropped. I'm going to get your guys' opinion on this because where is it at? There it is. So he's claiming, and on Twitter it's Master of the TDS, that you remember that thread that blew up going after Gary?
Yeah.
So he's claiming that a lot of the interaction on that was from bots and a lot of influence, like two big influencers that.
Oh, I think this is part of an
coordinated
orchestrated deal because there's one that came out exactly the same terminology from a different account about Critical Drinker. There's been a few write-ups. You even had, what was it?
Yeah, there's this right here. It's a similar thread.
There was that Looper thing as well.
The Looper, that's the one I was trying to think of.
The Critical Drinker is a piece of shit that we've allowed to operate amongst us for far too long.
Well, because think about it, because for the longest time they just kept saying, "Oh, they're the vocal minority, the vocal minority." Well, now that Drinker and Gary and some of these other channels like that are so much bigger than, yeah, they don't know what to do. So the most they can do now is try to shut us down, right? So yeah.
Man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, there's so many. What am I trying to say? Things pointing in that direction. There is like a bit of a coordinated thing going up, especially these two. Like they seem to be named in the Looper video. I'd like to take credit there. I was able to get the video before they took it down. But there was the Looper video. There's obviously these more recent things as well. I mean, it's always happening, but it just seems more directed towards these two specifically at the moment.
Especially right after the Acolyte bombed.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, Gary and Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, I mean, they're honestly probably two of the biggest pop culture channels.
Yeah.
And not only that, think about it for a minute. Really. They're starting to come up, getting place. You know, like Gary's been on Piers Morgan a couple times now, and all
mainstream.
It's harder and harder now to just say, oh, they're just these assholes in their parents' basement. It's getting harder to say that shit now. So it's a monster that got away from him, and they're trying to shut us all down. And I mean, I'm not trying to lump us all in with Gary, but we are. They did the same thing. What was it, like 2 or 3 years ago with that? Revealing Ripley or Finding Ripley or whatever hell the name that company was that tried
I remember
putting us all under some right-wing bubble.
Yeah. It was actually, true. A couple of people in the chat. It was actually both
Rewriting Ripley. That's what it was. Rewriting Ripley.
Both of them have been on Piers Morgan, like both at the same time, more so, So they are getting out there. They're the ones that are under the most attacks these days. Seems very coordinated.
But that account, like that post got millions.
That's the thing that's kind of sus, right?
Yeah. Because he came out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, I kind of think that there is something going on, a little gay whisper network of these people trying to
I think it's an organized bot attack upon Gary and Critical Drinker and Geeks and Gamers, and you never know, you might be next. I mean, that's the thing, is it feels like it's a concentrated thing coming out of Disney, or at least Kathleen Kennedy's camp, and it goes right along with their former playbooks that we've seen a million times. This is exactly what they did to Gina Carano.
Yep.
Speaking of Gina Carano, that's going crazy too, isn't it?
Well, that's going to be great. Awesome when that sets off, man.
Yeah,
I can't wait for all those people to have to go in and testify and look at their emails. Oh, it's going to be great.
It is going to be great.